This episode, we're going to read 2 chapters from the book The Magic of Faith by Joseph Murphy. Before I start, thank you so much again for liking, subscribing my videos, and commenting on my videos. It helps my channel grow so much. I appreciate it, and I would like to know more of what you would like me to talk about, to read, to comment upon, to teach you guys, to add value to your life. I'm open to anything. So please let me know in the comments below. Let us start. How to control your emotions. The ancient Greeks said, "Man, know thyself." As you study yourself, you seem to be made up of 4 parts: physical body, emotional nature, intellect, and the spiritual essence, which is called the presence of God, the I am within you. The divine presence is your real identity, which is eternal. You are here to discipline yourself so that your intellectual, emotional, and physical nature are completely spiritualized. These 4 phases of your nature are called the 4 beasts of the book of Revelation. The revelation of St. John means God revealing himself as a man. The real way for you to discipline and bridle your intellectual and emotional nature is by the practice of the presence of God all day long. You have a body. It is a shadow or reflection of the mind. It has no power of itself, no initiative or volition. It has no intelligence of itself. It is completely subject to your commands or decrees. Look upon your body as a great disc upon which you play your emotions and beliefs. Being a disc, it will faithfully record all your emotionalized concepts and never deviate from them. Therefore, you can register a melody of love and beauty or one of grief and sorrow upon it. Resentment, jealousy, hatred, anger, and melancholia are all expressed in the body as various diseases. As you learn to control your mental and emotional nature, you will become a channel for the divine and release the imprisoned splendor that is within you. Think over this for a moment. You cannot buy a healthy body with all the money in the world, but you can have health through riches of the mind, such as thoughts of peace, harmony, and perfect health. Let us dwell now on the emotional nature of man. It is absolutely essential for you to control your emotions if you want to grow spiritually. Let me repeat this one more time. Let us dwell now on the emotional nature of man. It is absolutely essential for you to control your emotions if you want to grow spiritually. You are considered grown up or emotionally mature when you control your feelings. If you cannot discipline or bridle your emotions, you are a child, even though you are 50 years old. You must remember that the greatest tyrant is a false idea which controls the man's mind, holding him in bondage. The idea you hold about yourself or others induces definite emotions in you. Psychologically speaking, emotions compel you for good or evil. If you are full of resentment towards someone or possessed by a grudge, this emotion will have an evil influence over you and govern your action in a manner which has nothing to do with what you say is the original cause. When you want to be friendly or cordial, you will be ugly and cynical and sour. When you want to be healthy, successful, and prosperous in life, you will find everything going wrong. Those of you reading this book are aware of your capacity to choose a concept of peace and goodwill. Accept the idea of peace in your mind and let it govern, control, and guide you. Quimby pointed out that ideas are our masters, that we are slaves to the ideas we entertain. The concept of peace with which you now live will induce the feeling of peace and harmony. Your feeling is the Spirit of God operating at the human level. This feeling of peace and good will compel you to right action. You are now governed by divine ideas which are molded by the Holy Spirit. Uncontrolled or undisciplined emotion is destructive. For example, if you have a powerful automobile, it will take you through the roughest country or to the top of high hill. However, you must control the automobile. If you do not know how to drive, you may hit a telegraph pole or another car. Should you step on the gas instead of the brake, the car may be destroyed. It is wonderful to possess something strong emotional nature, provided you are the master. Your emotions are controlling you if you permit yourself to get angry over trifles or agitated over practically nothing. If you get upset over what you read in the newspaper, you are not controlling your emotions. You must learn to blend your intellect and emotions together harmoniously. The intellect of man is alright in its place, but it should be anointed or illumined with the wisdom of God. There are many people who are always trying to intellectualize God. You cannot define the infinite. Spinoza said that to define God is to deny Him. You have met the highly intellectual man who says that man cannot survive death because he does not take his brains with him. Somehow he is so clever he really believes the brain thinks by itself. Such a man is looking at everything from a three-dimensional standpoint. That is where the intellect ceases. The intellect, as I said previously, is alright in its place. For example, in our everyday work and in all kinds of science, art, and industry. However, as we approach the living Spirit Almighty within, we are compelled to leave the world of the intellect and go beyond into the realm of spiritual values, which are perfection and where dimension is infinity. When man's intellect is blended with the emotions of love, peace, and goodwill, he will not use explosives and knowledge of chemistry for the destruction of mankind. The reason man uses the atomic bomb, submarine, and other implements of warfare to destroy his fellow creature is because his spiritual awareness and knowledge lag so far behind his intellectual achievements. Let us see how emotions are generated. Suppose you observe a cripple. Perhaps you are moved to pity. On the other hand, you may look at your young, beautiful child and if you feel an emotion of love welling up within you. You know that you cannot imagine an emotion, but if you imagine an unpleasant episode or event of the past, you induce the corresponding emotion. Remember, it is essential to entertain the thought first before you induce an emotion. An emotion is always the working of an idea in the mind. Have you noticed the effect of fear upon the face, eyes, heart, and other organs? You know the effect of bad news or grief on the digestive tract. Observe the change that takes place when it is found. The fear is groundless. All negative emotions are destructive and depress the vital forces of the body. A chronic warrior usually has trouble with digestion. If something very pleasant occurs in an experience, the digestion becomes normal because normal circulation is restored and the necessary gastric secretion are no longer interfered with. The way to overcome and discipline the emotion is not through repression or suppression. When you repress an emotion, the energy accumulates in the subconscious and remains stalled there. In the same manner as the pressure increases in the boiler, if all the valves are closed and you increase the heat of the fire, finally there will be an explosion. Today, in the field of psychosomatic, we are discovering that many cases of ill health, as arthritis, asthma, cardiac troubles, and failure in life, etc., may be due to suppressed or repressed emotions, perhaps occurring during early life or childhood. These repressed or suppressed emotions rise like ghosts to haunt you later on. There is a spiritual and psychological way to banish these ghosts which walk in the gloomy gallery of your mind. The ideal way is the law of substitution. Through the law of mental substitution, you substitute a positive, constructive thought for the negative. When negative thoughts enter your mind, do not fight them. Just think of God and His love. You will find the negative thoughts disappear. I say unto you that ye resist no evil. Matt 5:39. If a person is fearful, the positive emotion of faith and confidence will completely destroy. If you sincerely wish to govern your emotions, you must maintain control over your thoughts. By taking charge of your thoughts, you can substitute love for fear. The instant you receive the stimulus of a negative emotion, supplant it with the mood of love and goodwill. Instead of giving way to fear, say, one with God is a majority. Fill your mind with concepts of peace, love, faith in God. Then the negative thoughts cannot enter. It is far easier to cremate, burn up, and destroy negative thoughts at the moment they enter the mind, rather than try to dislodge them when they have taken possession of your mind. Refuse to be a victim of negative emotions through controlling your thought and thinking of God and His attributes. You can be master of all emotions and condition. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The book of Revelation deals with control of the intellectual and emotional life of man. It says in chapter 4, verses 6, 7, and 8, "And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, holy, holy Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. The sea of glass before the throne means the inner peace of God, for God is peace. Deep in the center of your being, the Infinite One lies stretched in smiling response. It is the living presence of God within you. You stand before this throne. The throne is a symbol of authority. Your emotional conviction of a deep, abiding faith in the God power is your authority in consciousness. To say it simply, your inner conviction is your throne in heaven, because therein lies your power. According to your faith, it is done unto you. Faith is a positive emotion attitude, knowing that the God I seek is mine now. The 4 beasts forever before the throne are the 4 phases of your being: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. In order to get your emotional nature on a spiritual basis, it is necessary to understand these 4 beasts. In doing so, you learn the gentle art of scientific prayer, which is in final analysis is the answer to all problems. Study these 4 potencies of consciousness. The lion is the king of the jungle. It means God, your I amness. Taurus means the bull or beast of burden. Your burden is your desire. You labor in your imagination to make your desire part of your consciousness. Aquarius means the water bearer. It means meditation. The word meditation means to eat of God or your good, to feast upon your ideal. You pour water on your ideal, meaning you dwell upon and pour love on it, which is the water of life. Something happens as you mentally feast upon your ideal. You generate an emotion. The latter is the Spirit of God moving on your behalf. Your emotion is the Holy Spirit moving at human levels. God is a reactive, reciprocal power within you. Your emotion responds according to the nature of the idea. As you emotionalize your idea, it sinks into the subconscious mind as an impression. This is called the ego or Scorpio, meaning the divine impregnation. These are 4 stages of the unfoldment or manifestation of an ideal or desire. Whatever is expressed is expressed. The 4 beasts has each of them 6 wings. The 6 wings refer to the mental creative act. When an idea and feeling blend together in harmony and faith, there has taken a place a wedding ceremony in the mind. Knowledge of this mental creative act gives you wings, enables you to soar aloft above the storms and struggles of the world and find peace and strength in your own mind. Let us take an illustration explaining the story of spiritual and mental creation. In the name Jehovah is concealed the perfect way to pray scientifically, thereby bring all discordant emotions under scientific control. Jehovah, Yod-He-O-V-A, is composed of 4 letters. Yod means God or I am. He means desire or idea. Vo is feeling or conviction. The final He is the manifestation of what you felt as true inside. The 3rd letter Vo is considered the most important of all. It enables you to feel you are that which you desire to be. Walk in the mental atmosphere that you are now and you what you want to be. The mood will gel within you and you will experience the joy of the answered prayer. The word vow also means nail. To nail your desires, to fix it in consciousness so that you are at peace about it. Remember, you do not have to live in a world of sickness and confusion created by your own error or ignorance. You have the power and the capacity to imagine and feel you are what you desire. As you completely accept your reality, your desire mentally, you are now what you wish to be. Through mental absorption, you have completed the name or the creative weight of God as He portrayed in the name Yod-He-Vo-A. In other words, you have completed the creative process in your mind as outlined by Troward in his Bible mystery and Bible meaning. To know how to pray scientifically is to be able to control your emotions. More things are wrought by prayer than these were dreams. Case histories. Case history number 1. Let us take some cases histories. A soldier who has returned from Korea told me that when he was seized with fear, he would say to himself over and over, God's love surrounds me and goes before me. This affirmation impressed his mind with a feeling of love and faith. This mood of love supplanted his fear. Perfect love casted out fear. This procedure is the answer to the process of freedom from fear. Case history number 2. A mother whose only child died was grief-stricken. The grief was affecting her vision and she suffered from migraine headaches. She was in a deep state of depression. I suggested to her that she go to a hospital and offer her service in the children's ward. She was a former nurse. In offering her time at a local hospital, she began to pour out love on the children. She coddled them, cared for them, and fed them. The love was no longer bottled up within her. She became a channel for the divine and began to release the sunshine of God's love. She practiced sublimation, which was the redirection of the energy lodged with her subconscious mind. In this manner, she drained off the poison pockets of her subconscious mind. Case history number 3. A woman who comes to our meeting told me that she was accustomed to fits of temper and anger periodically by the actions of neighbors. Instead of letting the anger and hatred affect her mentally and physically by pushing it back to the subconscious, she transmuted it into muscular energy by getting a gallon of water and washing the windows of the floor. Sometimes she would begin to dig in the garden, saying to herself aloud, "I'm digging in the garden of God and planting God's idea." She would do this for 15 minutes at a time. When washing the window, she would say aloud, "I'm cleansing my mind with the waters of love and life." The above illustrations are simple methods of walking off and working off negative emotions in a physical way. There you go. How to Control Your Emotions by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And there's a few things to unpack here. First of all, as I always say, don't take if you're not a religious person, don't take it too hard. And don't take it too hard. The words don't matter. The most important thing when he says that God is I am means that I am me, that we are God, in a sense that we are created as God is, because we are in the image of the divine, which is God. So we are creator. We have control over our surroundings, our environment, and it all starts with within. So really forget about all this religious Catholic vernacular. If you're Catholic or Christian and you can relate to all these things, all those words, good for you. If you're not, it doesn't mean it doesn't apply for you, because this is not specifically to people who are religious. This is for anybody who has consciousness, which is everybody. I am is the most powerful 2 words in any given language. I am is the power of creation. And emotions are incredibly important, because emotions manifest for better or worse, for good or bad. We need to be in control of our emotion, which means we need to be in control of our inner world, which begins with thoughts. Thoughts is the most important thing. That's why Joseph Murphy said that we always need to replace a thought with a positive one if we are not happy with the first thought to begin with. That's how we change our circumstances. It's nothing more than inside out work. The world outside has everything to do with the world inside. And God works in mysterious ways, and I was watching this YouTuber by the name of Joseph Halle, who said something that was really, really smart and really, really true. We have no idea how our desires can unfold. Like, though when we manifest, we might be doing everything, and we might be even thinking of all the alternatives and all the ways that our manifestation come about, but it's impossible to understand how things work, because the I am, which is the consciousness we are all part of, we all part of this oneness. So our awareness and consciousness affect everybody around, the world around, everybody around, because we're all the same. We're all part of this God creation. I am, the divine. So many things will move, so many variables and complexity will come about to make your desires come true, if you are to stay true and persistent to this idea of I am, without reverting back to the old man, as Neville Goddard will call. Old man is the old conversation, the person, the negative mental diet you are holding, you held before. And want to replace this old man with the new mental diet, with the new I am. So we choose I am peace, I am prosperity, I am health, and we impregnate and impress our subconscious minds over and over again every day, persistently, feelingly, with our affirmations, with our prayers, so we become this new person and we let go of this old man conversation, and we are divine in that sense that we have so much control. Whether you want to see it from a scientific, from a metaphysical perspective, it doesn't matter. The most important thing we need to understand is because we need to control our emotions, because our emotions will direct us to things we want to do and things we don't want to do. And the things we want to do should be aligned with our prayers, our positive prayers and affirmation. The things we don't want to do, we should let go of. As I said in my previous video, we should not coerce the mental diet. We should entertain a mental diet that is positive, organic, and natural, so it would gently impress and kindly impress the subconscious mind without coercing the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind cannot be forced. The subconscious mind is very stubborn. The subconscious mind needs to be caressed, need to be pat on the back, need to be spoken with kind words and positive words. And when we do this over time, when we use the right words, when we visualize, when we meditate, when we quiet the mind, and when we let go and don't react to the negativity, when we do not read some news and react negativity, when we don't hear about someone, when we're not jealous, when we're not envious, when everything is positive. And I'm not saying that we live in a perfect world, but we can choose to see the good when there is good and let go of the bad, because more often times we just have this huge vision of the world and people and an incomplete vision, but we can choose to see the good. Positive thoughts, negative thoughts are always available. You choose the positive thoughts and your mental diet will be pristine and will be perfect and will go in the direction of the ideal self you want to manifest. So the Buddha used to say that a man who conquers 1,000,000 soldiers in the battlefield is not as worthy as a man who conquers himself, and is not as strong as a person who conquers himself. Is not as powerful as someone who controls himself. Anything on the outside world can be bent with willpower. However, the mind is no joke. You need more than just willpower. Willpower is actually kind of useless. You can willpower in a sense like you have the willpower to make you do things with your mind. That's good. You have the discipline, you have the willpower to discipline yourself. But when it comes to truly directly disciplining the mind, it's effortless in the sense that the more effort you put, the more counterproductive your results will be. And it might be a contradiction, but I assure you it's not. It's just a way of disciplining the mind that is effortless, which means meditating, closing your eyes, being still, and impregnating the subconscious mind with the right affirmation, feelingly, slowly, monotonously, softly, commandingly, yes, but without forcing, as if you were to lull a kid to sleep. And during the day, when you have negative emotions, don't beat yourself up. Let go. Surrender, as I said in my previous video. Just surrender to the feeling. Surrender. Let it go. Be okay with it staying if it wants to stay. And by being okay to it staying or leaving, it will disappear. And when you have negative thoughts, don't beat yourself. Just replace them one at a time with a positive affirmation that's aligned with your ideal, with your desired outcome, your desired ideal self. And when Joseph Murphy talks about God, you can replace the God with I am me. I love myself. You can have faith not in God if you're not religious. You can feel faith that you are creation too, that you can feel faith in you. You have to understand that you have the power. That's what Neville Goddard talks about. We are as God. So we have the power of creation, not unlike God, like God. So put aside all this religious vernacular. You are a creator, so you, by definition, you have the power. So let go of doubt, let go of negativity, let go of those feelings, and replace all of it with affirmations, with positive intentions, with prayers, with words that are soothing and go in the right direction. And you will see that through perseverance, to persistent assumption, your desire and your ideal self will come to pass. And this is it for now. If you need to know more, contact me for coaching, read my books. There's a Facebook group I just created, private Facebook. Check all the links in the description box below, and I'll talk to you soon.